Hello, guys, and welcome to Clean and Sober, where we journey together towards a life of sobriety and wellness. I'm Christian, here to inspire and guide you with stories, tips, and a whole lot of heart. Let's dive into today's topic and take another step forward in our journey to a healthier life. Today, we have an empowering video focused exclusively on women. The global issue of alcohol consumption and the persuasive mommy wine culture in a society where the oddity of alcohol stands out, being the only drug you're expected to justify not using. The pressure is especially pronounced for women. Picture a typical evening out or a casual gathering at home. If a woman opts out of drinking, she's often met with a chorus of just one drink won't hurt. Yet this pressure doesn't extend to other substances, highlighting a troubling double standard. The mommy wine culture in particular glamorizes alcohol as the essential tool for dealing with the challenges of parenting, embedding a dangerous narrative that to be a good mother, one needs to partake in this ritual. This is not only reinforces unhealthy coping mechanisms, but also sets a concerning example for the next generation. The good news is that breaking free from this narrative is more straightforward than it might seem. Choosing sobriety is not merely about financial savings. It's a profound act of reclaiming your health, vitality, and the quality of your relationships. It's about investing in a future where your well-being is not compromised for the sake of conformity. For the alcohol industry, the decision of women to embrace sobriety represents a significant financial loss. But this is not a loss for you. By rejecting alcohol, you're making a powerful statement against a system that exploits vulnerabilities for profit. You're also challenging the harmful mommy wine culture, advocating for healthier coping mechanisms, and setting a positive example for both your peers and future generations. We invite you to make that bold choice today. Say no to the societal and cultural pressures that encourage drinking. Embrace a lifestyle of clarity, health, and true independence. The journey to your best self begins with the empowering decision. Let's redefine the narrative together, showing the world that living alcohol-free is not only possible, but a pathway to a more vibrant, fulfilling life. Join us in this crucial conversation, and let's pave the way for a healthier, more empowered future for all women.
When you say you don't drink at all? You just drink?
No, I'm not a drinker. I just never started. It was another one of those things my mom just never, was like, don't drink, don't do drugs, you're gonna die. Like, okay, it's like in my head.
Yeah. But you put those chits in your bank of health and it shows up after a while.
It's true. That and like staying out of the sun. There was a time when I just didn't take sun at all, I think through my 20s and 30s, and it really saved my skin, I think.
And I understand also that you're into affirmations and meditation.
I am, very much so.
How has that changed you?
A lot. I just feel like we all operate, and we don't even realize it, on such negative thoughts all the time. Mostly what goes on through our mind and our subconscious is negative. Like, oh, I could have done this better. Oh, I'm so dumb, I said stupid this. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's how we think all the time, and I never thought about how I think. And then when I started paying attention to my thoughts and changing them and saying, you know what, thank you for sharing that, brain or spirit or whatever's going on in there, but you know what, I am doing good, I am better, I am trying, and redirecting those thoughts to be more positive thoughts and affirmations like, me and my children are always healthy. We live a joyous life. Things like this every single day really help redirect me from the beginning of my day. And it's hard to do, but sometimes it just, out to the universe, I accept all the good things the universe has to offer. You know what I mean? Just things like that every single day just help you to start off your mind and your day in the right way. And it helps.
Like, I don't drink alcohol anymore. I'm not sober. I don't work a program. What else I do is, my own business.
Right.
I was like, this is a toxic behavior for me. And my whole life it held me back because I knew that I couldn't surrender to something nor give it up. It was like that definition of insanity. You do the same shit over and over again, expecting a different result. I was a complete prisoner of my own behavior. And finally 3.5 years ago, I was like, I can't do this anymore. It doesn't work for me. I'm never going to be that cool girl with the glass of wine at the party. Like, I'll want 3 bottles. Like, that's just my personality. It's my addiction. And when I finally let go of that, it made me realize that I was capable of great change that I totally rebelled about. I was like, I will master this toxic behavior of mine. As if I could, I just did not think I could ever stop. That was a hamster wheel I'd be on my whole life.
Was that something that you had that aha moment yourself? Did you feel
I always knew
in
it.
your life push you towards that? Because
All of the above.
Yeah.
All my friends were mirrors. They were like, this is not working. They said it for decades. I said I knew it for decades. And I just thought, I don't know why. And the last 3.5 years have been so awesome and so great. And I don't have any hangups with it. Again, I don't work a program. I pour people drink. I have alcohol in my house. It's just finally became a confident decision. So I think once a cheater, not always a cheater. I think, can you ask yourself though, if you're with somebody that cheats, if they can change is second, can you ever get over it?
Right.
Even if that person changed, will the past just haunt you and torture you and be in the room with you for life? Then don't be in that relationship, because you'll just keep punishing that person and yourself regardless of their change.
Yeah. So
if you really can't ever get over it, it doesn't matter if that person's going to change or not, because you will bring it into the future. But I do believe people can one day say, I've been stuck in a shitty cycle that I'm totally aware of, and for whatever reason, I convinced myself it would fix itself one day. And you have to do that hard, crazy work of just switching it. And sometimes maybe you're just so sick of yourself that you finally let go, or it's a really challenging thing and you struggle and sweat and scream through the whole thing. Yeah. Whatever it is, I know people are capable of change.
I call myself a junkie. I refer to myself as a junkie simply so I demystify it. I call myself a dope fiend because I'm a dope fiend. This is the addiction issue, but I mean, there are lots of forms of addiction in the universe. I was in a good, stable marriage, writing books for children that were bestsellers. I was getting more and more work and more fame and attention and adulation. I got more as my addiction got worse, not less. My high bottom made that denial much more pervasive because it was all working. It's not working. Because if you are asking yourself, can I stop this? Then you're in a prison of your own mind. And I was in that prison, even though I was fabulous and all the bullshit part of show-off business. I had been nursing a secret Vicodin addiction for a very long time, over 10 years. Not one person knew except a Brazilian healer woman. She had been staying with us. And this was December of 98. I make dinner and buy all the food, make the dinner, and wrap the presents, and doing all my thing at Christmas time. And she was staying with us. And I was in my kitchen, and I had a pocket full of Vicodin. I had a glass of wine on the counter. It was it was Vic o'clock. I mean, it was just sort of like cocktail hour. And I pocketed 5 of them, put them in my mouth, took a swig of wine, and from behind me, I heard this. Jamie, I see you. I see you with your little pills, and you think you're so fabulous and so great, but the truth is you're dead. You're a dead woman.
I was like, wow, okay. This is bad. At that point, there was a lot of people who were very worried, understandably so. I wasn't really worried though. It didn't matter how many people around me were like, are you okay? Like, this isn't good, you need help. That didn't matter. But that is the the nature of the disease. That is what addiction is. You can't run from the things in your life that happen. That's all I've ever wanted to do, was just pretend they don't exist. Because that would be easier, right? No, it makes it worse because it will catch up with you. It always does. I didn't want to face everything, whether it be my own self-hatred, which is an interesting thing to say because it's not like, wow, woe is me, like my life is hard. It's not. I have a wonderful life. I have a blessed life. But sometimes that doesn't match up to the way you feel about yourself.
You know, a lot of people rely on their community to intervene, but this sounds like a decision you came to yourself. Take me to those first moments where you sort of had that realization. And
I think a lot of times in my past, there's been moments where I've come to a decision myself without really many people going, you need to do something. I've always been such a seeker when it comes to knowing how to self-soothe and tools to use. But this time I wasn't. But that's kind of when you realize how the resistance towards something is really how much more you need it. All I knew is like if I was continuing to go down the road I would either end up dead or like doing something really, really stupid. And I think that was scary.
Cara, I'd love you to sort of tell us a little bit about your healing and what that's been like and what looking after yourself looks like now.
I've always been into like a quick fix in terms of I could go to a week retreat or, to go on a course for trauma or do things and not fully do it. And it's helped for a minute, but it never really kind of gets to the nitty-gritty, the deeper stuff. Treatment was the best thing. It was always something I was very scared of, but I think I needed that community. I needed that support group. People do it in different ways, but that was mine.
So I'm not doing this anymore. And I read a book and then I was done.
What was the book?
The Easy Way to Stop Drinking by Alan Carr.
What's the easy way?
Easy way is you read this book and then you're done at the end of it.
Why?
And what he does, I used his method to stop smoking. The Easy Way to Stop Smoking by Alan Carr. So many people have read it. It's the one book that when you've tried everything else, nothing else works. This book, my mom quit smoking after 35 plus years.
Really?
So many of my friends, I heard about it, I think like Ellen DeGeneres and Ashton Kutcher. I heard a bunch of celebrities kind of talking about it. I read the book and you can smoke while you read it. And then by the end of the book, he just promises you, he goes, go have a cigarette. And you're just like, no, I don't want to. And I don't need to. His method is, and this is the thing he does with drinking, any excuse you have to do that thing, he talks you out of it. He tells you a reason why your excuse is actually bullshit and there's no science behind it. And he disproves any reason that you have to do it. And we've been brainwashed by tobacco and alcohol industries to believe that quitting is really hard. And quitting alcohol is hard if you have an addiction. You can die from it, obviously. But with tobacco, it's part of their propaganda to tell you that it's hard to quit smoking. They're the ones pushing that message, which seems like, why would they tell people it's hard? But they're doing that because if it's hard, you won't quit. So that has been their message, to be like, it's so hard to quit smoking. It's so hard. When really, it's not.
It's not?
No. The withdrawal symptoms of not smoking last up to 2 weeks. I think it's less than that. I think it's like 7 to 11 days. And the discomfort caused by wanting a cigarette is the same discomfort as being a little bit hungry. You're a little bit annoyed. It's like, it's not insurmountable. It's uncomfortable, but it passes after 7 to 11 days, I think it is. And then it's all, even when you're going through it, it's not that bad. But it's the psychological effect of thinking it's hard that makes it then hard. So once he proves to you it's not that hard, and any excuse you have to smoke, which is like, it calms me down, it raises your blood pressure, so that's inaccurate. It makes me more social. Actually, it isolates you. You know, if you really look at it, every time you smoke, you feel kind of bad. People think you stink. Like, it just, every excuse you have, and then he did it with drinking too. I went through this book, I read it. You can drink while you read the book. You have to want to quit. To pick up the book, you have to want to be like, I want this out of my life. I don't know how to get it out of my life. And I gave this book to so many of my friends, and my friends don't drink anymore. And a lot of them, use program or other things to supplement. But all I needed was this book, and I was done.
And I don't smoke anymore. And I'm sober.
How long you been sober
but
for?
I've been sober since pretty much the vocal surgery kind of did it for me, because I just learned so much about the effects, which again, you're just not taught. It's not really the drinking, it's staying up all night. You know, once you have your drink, you end up smoking. And I've become the face of a lot of things kind of against my will, I guess, from my opinions. When you're someone in my position, your opinion becomes your identity. And it also becomes kind of almost like you kind of become this like preacher, or you become this, you know, they don't really let you just always have your own opinion. So I've decided to start telling people, I live my own lifestyle. Alcohol was never my problem. There was other things that I end up, you know, I like to go up. So I now just avoid really drinking because I like to wake up at 110%. But it's never really been my problem, and I could see myself having a drink of celebration in the future. But I get so fucking hungover now that I'm like, why would I celebrate with like just feeling like a volcano's erupted in my brain, you know? So it's really just a personal preference, but it's definitely not anything that I promote in. I think it's a lifestyle I think everyone should experiment. It's a good time and you learn a lot of things about yourself and the people around you. But now I'm watching, I have younger siblings and they're going through that, and I don't know how my mom did it with me because it's scary.
Remember, every step you take towards your sobriety is a step towards a more vibrant and fulfilling life. If you found value in this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with anyone who might benefit from our community's support and stories. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay updated with all our latest content. I'm Christian, your guide and companion on this journey. Your stories, your successes, and even your struggles, they all matter here at Clean and Sober. Together we are building a community of strength and hope, so keep pushing forward, keep striving for better, and remember, you're not alone in this. Stay strong, guys, stay sober, and I'll see you in the next video.